Okay, friend, we talked in the article, Who Do You Think You Are?, about knowing your driver values and how that can help you to understand yourself and accept how very cool your friends and relations think that you are. So how do you do that? How do you know what they are? Lots of times we think we know until we do an exercise that helps us to discover that. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do an exercise that helps you to really understand your driver values and how they're showing up in your world. So I'm going to need you to get 3 packs of sticky notes, all different colors, please, and a couple of markers. That would be really terrific. Get those and have a little bit of space to work. Maybe the dining room table, maybe go to the library and get a big table. Get yourself a little bit of space and then we'll be off. Okay, so here we go. You're all set up. You've got 3 pads of sticky notes, you've got some markers, and you have a little bit of space to work. We are going to start this exercise by you taking a couple of minutes to list all of the things that you love, all of the things that are really important to you. Now, I say all of them. What I really mean is 25 to 30. I want you to list some foods. I want you to list pets and people, places, things that really make you who you are. Do you like to read? Do you like to walk? Where do you like to go? How do you like to feel? And what you're going to do is pick 1 color of sticky notes. So just 1 color, like pick yellow, and then each thing you like gets its own sticky note. So I'm going to write down Paul, and that's a sticky note. And then I'm going to write down the dog, Katmai, that's another sticky note. So each thing that you like gets its own sticky note. Go ahead and make a little mess on the table. Put those all out there. Put me on pause while you write 25 to 30 things that kind of make you who you are. They're very important to you. Okay, here we go. You have a whole bunch of things laying there in front of you. You're not really sure what you're supposed to do with them, and you're still thinking maybe you've got a few more things that you like and you're not really sure. You're probably going to add to this list as you do this exercise. But what I want you to do right now is take those things that are really important to you, those things that you love, you like, they make you who you are, and put them in categories that make sense to you. Organize them in a style that you're like, oh, this goes together, this goes with this. And if you think of some other things, go ahead and add them in there on there with their own sticky note. Okay, now you've got this little selection of lists right there, and we're going to move on to a new pad of sticky notes, a new color. Go ahead and choose a new color, and on these sticky notes, I want you to take just a moment and think about the values that are really important to you. But the values might be loyalty, faith, honesty. It might be hard work. It might be kindness. There's a myriad of values. You know what's important to you. You look for it all of the time. What you're going to do right now is write 5, maybe 7 of those. You might even write 10, but just take a moment and 1 value per sticky note. And remember, you're working with a new color. I want you to write down those values that are really important to you. So go ahead and take a moment to do that. Okay, you have your values established, and I'm going to ask you to look at those. And I'm going to ask you to do something really hard because these are your values. I'm going to ask you to throw one of them away. You have to choose one of them, wad it up, and throw it away. I know, it's hard to do. But what we're getting to here is your driver values, the values that are really super important to you. So evaluate those just a little bit and pick one and throw it away. And now, I want you to pick another one and do the exact same thing. You have to wad it up and you have to throw it away. And I will tell you, this is the point where every once in a while when I'm doing this with a group of people, that somebody gets a little bit mad. They're like, I can't do that. If you absolutely can't do it, you don't have to. But if you do it, it's going to help you to just really understand yourself that much more. So go ahead and throw one of those away. Okay, now I want you to take those values and put them in numerical value. What do you think would be the order that they go in from the most important to you? And just put those in a little list, 1 through 6 or however many you have there. Go ahead and spend a moment doing that. And now that you have that done, I want you to look at the original list, the things that make you you, the things that are important to you, and match up those values with those things. You might end up with all of the values on one list, and that is okay. So go ahead and match up the values with your list. And if you have to shuffle things around a little bit, go ahead and take some time to do that right now. Okay, now we're going to have just a little bit of fun. I want you to think about this for just a minute. How did your values end up? What really shows up as important to you? What did you see kind of became the big category? Maybe all of your values ended up with all of the things under it. And there's some things you're like, oh yeah, that didn't matter anymore. What do you know about yourself now? Lots of times this is really an important stage. This is where you're like, oh man, I've been doing some stuff that really doesn't matter to me. It doesn't fit my values at all. It doesn't go here. So maybe I'm going to eliminate that. And to make that even more impactful and a little bit easier to do, this is what you're going to do now. You're going to get that third color of sticky notes and you're going to write one item per sticky note. And there's probably only going to be 3, maybe 5 of these, the things that really make you mad. If you were going to launch, if you were going to have a riot, if you were just going to stomp your feet and say no darn way, it would be about these things. So 3 to 5 things that really make you launch. If you're not sure what they are, your family probably knows. So think about the things that just really could get you going. 3 to 5 of them, write those down. So now you have 3 to 5 things that really you could just launch on that at a moment's notice. If you're going to go red in the face, this would be what it is. I want you to take those and put those with the value they bump up against. So if you said honesty is really important to you and lying showed up on your I will launch over that, you're going to put lying up with that value that it bounces up against, that it really pushes against. And as you do that, what you should see is the value that is the very most important to you. Most of the things you like fall under it. Most of the things that make you mad bump up against it. It is the value that is running in your head all of the time. Now I see all kinds of different values that are very, very important to people. These are called driver values. Your driver value is driving every thought that you have, every action that you have, every person that you judge. That driver value is in your head saying, are they honest? Are they loyal? Are they whatever your thing is? Now, I'm not going to judge what your word is because they're so unique and they're so very important to each one of us. But I will tell you that they're different for all of us. I have one gentleman I worked with that his most important driver value is open-mindedness. I have a woman that I worked with that her most important value is kindness. Sometimes it's faith. Sometimes it's genuine. Sometimes it's authentic. Sometimes, as in my case, it's loyalty. Whatever your driver value is, it is the very most important one. I want you to just take a moment and think about what that means to you in your world. So for me, when I did this exercise, I recognized that loyalty was my most important driver value. When I put the numbers on the sticky notes, it was like number 5. I didn't think loyalty was that important, but as I thought about the process and I thought about the people and I thought about the things that made me launch, I realized that loyalty was my driver value. I'm loyal to my spouse. I'm loyal to employers. I'm loyal to clients. I am loyal, loyal, loyal. If I tell you I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I'm very careful about not promising to do things that I can't do. I also, and this is the funny thing about driver values, I will drop you in a hot minute if you are not loyal to me. And I know that doesn't make sense, but that's how driver values work. I had an employee one time that, oh my gosh, fabulous employee, but did something that I considered disloyal. Boom, fired. It was a bad deal. And I realized that I overreacted, but that is what my driver value did. It's like, oh, man alive, you were disloyal, you're cut off, I'm not going to be loyal to you anymore. Driver values just jump in there and run the day for you. If somebody looks disloyal to me, I have nothing to say to them, nothing to do with them anymore. That is just how that works. But here's what I'm going to ask you, and this is maybe even more impactful and more important than how it shows up externally, is how is that value showing up for you in your world? Are you being kind to you? Are you being genuine with you? Are you using your faith in your world? For me, I had to ask myself, am I being loyal to myself every single day? And holy heck, I was not. I was not being loyal to me. I'd do things like say, I'm going to drink my water today. And at the end of the day, I'd be like, chug, 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 just trying to get the water down. Not healthy, not loyal. When I decided to be loyal to myself, I started taking care of myself in a better way, in a different way. I go for a hike every single morning, unless there's something better to do, but there seldom is, because I know that I need that time in nature. I need that time of peace. I need that time to take care of me. Now I'm loyal to me. I make that decision. I'm going to do this every single day for me. And then when I go out into the world, I'm a much kinder, gentler, faster moving, more energetic person, because the driver value that is most important is the driver value that I'm using for me. And that's what I'm going to suggest for you, that whatever you decided your driver value is, that you use it for you every single day in every single way. And the more often you lean into that driver value, the happier, the more joy-filled, the more energetic your life is going to be. And don't be embarrassed if you think, oh, it's a silly driver value. It is, but it's yours. Lean into it and just be you. Have a great day and lean into your very important, very well-deserved driver value. Bye.